a trope that I adore. When there is an extinct race he brought with him to bury is actually a vampire. I'm not going to say this is spoilers. I ended up giving this book 3 stars. Should you pick it up? Welcome back to my channel. I am Brenda, and this is Reading by Myshelf. So this is the start of another reading vlog, and I am currently reading Eluthienn by Sam Middleton. The author kindly sent me an advanced reader's copy of this book for my honest review, and I started Eluthienn 2 days ago, and I am about 25% of the way through. So my first impression is that it reminds me of Harry Potter in a way. Not in that it is middle grade or made for children, because it is not. It is very kind of gory and dark, more sinister and dark. But it had some elements in the world itself that just kind of reminded me of Harry Potter in the start. So this is a world where there are elves and dwarves and gnomes and demonic presences, and there is this underground city that was built by some older race that is no longer there and is no longer in this world. And so that part is extremely interesting to me. That is one fantasy trope that I adore, when there is an extinct race that came before that was more advanced or was better at certain things and has this legacy that bleeds through into this current world. And the other aspect that I really am loving so far, or should I say point of view, is the point of view of the exorcist. So the exorcist kickstarts the story with he's called onto a job. A baron from a small community on the outskirts of this evil forest has called him in because some evil occurrences have been going on around his town, and he wants the exorcist to put a stop to it. So that is what he does. And there's a man who has recently decided to build a house within this forest, and all the residents of the town are very suspicious of him, and they are pointing the finger at him. And so the exorcist goes and checks it out, and come to find out, the body of his daughter that he brought with him to bury is actually a vampire. I'm not going to say this is spoilers, because this happens very early in the story, and it kind of kicks off the quest portion in which the exorcist is on the hunt for this missing prince. So the other perspective or perspectives is that of a crew they are in the underground tunnels, and they come across an abandoned vessel. And so they are doing their due diligence and going to check it out, and there are a bunch of dead people, or what are they? Dwarves, a bunch of dead dwarves and other races on board this ship. And then the ship kind of comes under attack as they're investigating. And that is where I am currently. And I would definitely say that my favorite perspective so far is the exorcist perspective. And I think that is because, of course, that topic is interesting to me, but also it seems like that is where we're going to get a lot of the mysticism and backstory from this world, is from his perspective. So I will certainly keep you posted as I go. I believe this book is around 500 pages or so, and it is due to release on March 1st. So I doubt that I will be finished by March 1st, but it won't be long after that, and I am excited to share the story with you. So I'll keep you posted. Stay tuned. I am here to wrap up Eluthienn. So I finished this book last night, and I wanted to just give you my final thought. Let's try it over here. So I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I found the plot itself very intricate and fast-paced, and certainly his world building was unique, and I really enjoyed his new take on the vampire story, as well as these other creatures, these supernatural creatures. And so I thought it was a really fun story, and I actually really enjoyed the second half of the book more than the first half, because you really get into the meat of the story. There is a demon library, which I thought was fantastic and so interesting. I mean, I love that idea. I'm a sucker for a library and any kind of old magical tomes and things like that. So that was really fun. So, like I said, this is the story of an exorcist and a witch hunter who work for kind of the religious, the ruling religious sect in this world, and they are sent on a mission with this lost prince who claims that he can, solve this problem that they're having within the city. The story is definitely kind of gory. Get down. She act like she's never seen a candle before. Anyway, the story is definitely gory and kind of brutal, kind of savage things that happen. And one of the things that I really love about this is this underground world that was built by this elder race that no longer exists, who were much more technologically advanced, and they were obviously a war-driven society. So that was really fun to read. Like I said, I like the new take on the vampire and demon story. I really enjoyed the demon library and the experience in that. I liked the fast-paced environment, or the fast-paced story, but one of the things that for me didn't work as well was the fact that it felt so fast-paced at times that I really feel like it may have sacrificed some of that character development. It really made it less of a character-driven story in my perspective. There were times when it felt info dumpy, like where you were just giving a lot of information dumped on your lap all at once, and some of it may have even been a little bit unnecessary. And one of my nitpicky with any story, with any writer, is I want to be shown. I want you to show me things instead of telling me directly. I don't want you to tell me that somebody is sad or that they're happy. I want you to show me with their reactions. I want you, instead of saying, this world is, ominous and evil, I want you to show me that it's ominous and evil by the things that are happening, by the people that are there, by the weather, by, things of that nature, instead of just telling me, which really, it pulls me out of the story, and it's really hard for me. I'm a very visual reader, so if I can't envision what you're telling me, what you're showing me, I'm going to lose interest, or I'm going to be pulled out. I feel like the premise is great, and I feel like some of the action scenes were really fun and interesting and suspenseful and satisfying. There were other elements that just didn't quite do it for me, for my own personal preferences when it comes to reading stories like this. I know that this is his debut novel, and so I would definitely give another book by Sam Middleton a try, because I definitely feel like he is a skilled storyteller. I just feel like this story in particular may not have been for me. So, what else? Certainly my favorite character in the story at first was the exorcist, but towards the middle of the story we meet Matthias, and he is this mysterious character who is actually when they introduce the character, he is a prisoner, and he's like a high security prisoner. And so he has this like weird kind of feral vibe about him, and I really found him interesting, and I really liked his part in the story, and I really wish that we would have seen more from him. I think that playing off of his mysterious vibe would have been a really fun and interesting route to take, and I hope that if this author continues on with this world, that he uses Matthias a little bit more in the next book, because he was certainly a very evocative character, and I feel like he could really boost that sense of mysteriousness and unexpectedness, because he is so curious to me. I mean, I wanted to see more. I just liked his kind of nonchalant, his attitude, and his obvious skill as a navigator. I really liked him. So this book deals with themes of morality versus power and titles and success. What's the word I'm looking for? Do you sacrifice your morals just to achieve a certain status? And it also deals with themes of good and evil. I mean, obviously you have your good guys fighting these evil monsters and vampires and demons. So I know I mentioned that I thought this was similar to Harry Potter, but I would say not so much. While yes, in the fact that there is a conglomeration of these fantastical creatures and beasts, is very much not like Harry Potter. So my overall thoughts and feelings, I definitely think this book is worth a read. It was unique and different, and certainly had a great setting. That whole, like I said, that underground setting that was built by this elder race that they really don't know much about, other than their technology was far superior and advanced, and that part was very interesting. And I think that Sam Middleton's writing, his prose itself, it was good. He definitely built a world in which he really put a lot of thought and effort into. I think that there is something for me that was missing in the prose itself. And like I said, just the more I want to see more showing and less telling. I want more character focus, a little bit more backstory, a little bit more development overall, because I do feel like some of these main characters were pretty static. They didn't have a big character arc. They remained pretty static throughout. I think the only character that really had a big character arc was the exorcist, and yeah. So anyway, I do recommend this book. I think that for his debut fantasy novel, that he put together something really cohesive and unique, and the world itself was so imaginative and seductive even. Like, I would definitely pick up the next book. I feel like that it would only get better. So I gave Sam Middleton's debut novel 3 stars. It is definitely in the fantasy genre and has a whole host of supernatural beings, and it was a fun and unique read. Should you pick it up? I would say yes. I would say that this is certainly one that deserves some attention. So, what do you think? Is this a book that sounds like something you might like to read? I would love to chat about it more with you in the comments. So, please leave a comment down below. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. See you again soon.